Hi guys, Medieval Squirrel here with my first campaign on Thrones of Britannia. Going to be playing as West Seaxe, mainly because I come from Hampshire and I thought I'd play for the home team. We are going to be doing it on very hard battle and campaign difficulty. Only hard for political, mainly because the first time I tried doing this video, that province there, Doncaster or something, went into civil war before I could reach it with Alfred within the first 6 turns, so I didn't want it to be that stupid, to be honest, but I still want the difficulty from people having low loyalty or just not wanting to play ball. Still want that, I just don't want it to be literally every turn. I don't think that's very balanced. So let's have a quick look at the features and then we'll jump straight on in. So the cultural features for English kingdoms are burgle, about your taxes, fried, which tells you how many peasant soldiers you can have, and a 50% commander's aura for all characters. For West Seaxe specifically, you get a Witan, which is a unique version of decrees. You get strong armoured sword and spear infantry and cavalry, and unit experience increases when in fortify. So without further ado, let's jump straight on in. And we'll see how this goes.
Long have the Vikings raided our lands, but nothing prepared us for their great army. For a decade we fought them, the tide of battle ebbing back and forth. Until finally they were defeated, and their great army fled our lands. Now, England lies divided. Its old political order washed away. Too long have we fought amongst ourselves. Now is the time to unite as England.
England is divided, weakened from a decade of fighting. West Seaxe has suffered greatly, but its star is on the rise. It is your fate to bring order back to these lands. You have vassals under your protection who are sworn to aid you in time of war. They are Gwent and Glewisig to your northwest, Defon and Cernu to your west, and South Saxe and Kent to the east. It is important to maintain good relations with your vassals. If you do not, they may choose to break your treaty rather than join your war. Rumors abound of new Viking incursions in the south. You will need to build up your defenses there to make sure you are not caught off guard when they strike. One of your armies is ready to attack the southern rebels. Dealing with this threat promptly will bring much needed stability to your lands.
Okay guys, let's have a very quick look around. So obviously we've got Hampshire, Wiltshire, Dorset, Somerset, a bit of Middlesex, and Dorcaster. That is the town that just disappeared off my map in a civil war. Alright, so we'll start off by going straight on into this battle, which we will fight. So, save in case of a crash, and manually fight the battle. Let's go and kill some rebel scum. Okay, so we've pretty much got the same army. I mean, they've got axes instead of swords, but all in all, we've got about the same. And we have the great King Alfred. You won't know this, but I am a massive history geek. Obviously I like things like The Last Kingdom. I haven't seen it, but I have read all the books. And it is amazing if you look at how the books are with the history, how close it is to the history, or true history. It is surprising that England is even still around as a country today. To be honest, I will be going through little snippets of history as we're going through the campaign, but suffice to say it for now, that England should not have survived. Like, at all. I mean, the king lived in a swamp for something like 7 months while he was trying to rearrange his kingdom. Yeah. Should not have happened. Okay, we are just going to attack in rain, because I don't really see the point in not.
Eager to fight.
Let's have a quick look at our units. Alfred and his companions, normal spears, and then our thanes there.
Archers!
And Cav off to the side.
A cavalry charge to the rear of an enemy formation can be devastating. Keep your
Aye, 'tis
cavalry
so.
in reserve, and then hammer the flank or rear of the enemy.
We're just walking for now. Alright, what we'll do is we'll pull the cav out to one of the sides. To the opposite side by the looks of it. Seeing as the enemy keeps swapping. And I want my cav where they don't have theirs.
Eager to fight.
Our general is under
Don't
attack.
hold back. Run.
Pull the cav round. Oh, I don't like fighting in the trees.
We've sighted the enemy. Archers! Under enemy fire. Missile! Watch it! Horsemen! Drive the horses! Glory awaits! Enemy sighted!
The enemy reveals themselves.
If that's what they're going to do, we'll just shield castle it. And we'll wait until we've wiped out some of their archers.
Under enemy fire! Enemy sighted! God is with us!
See, Thrones is very much more missile orientated than previous games, and very much orientated upon not taking that many casualties in your battles. So it's much harder to kill people than it was in previous Total War games, especially in like Warhammer, where the entire premise is to just wipe entire groups off the map with, say, a mammoth. No, not going to come to me still. Alright, pull the cav back a bit. Run forward. No, nothing.
On the double.
No? Nothing at all. Come on, guys.
Archers! Run, warriors! Shall I pull the men back?
Come on.
Bowman! Let's down the barrel!
You're not going to kill him.
Attack from range! Dane! Archers!
Our foes have flanked us.
Haha. Right, trying to throw horsemen in against
Horsemen!
a shield castle. Let's get in with the horsemen.
To battle! Horsemen! Ride to victory!
Battle awaits us. Strike now. Yes.
Thane! Get them! Your win is ours! Strike now! Horsemen!
Why did my horsemen stop?
General.
Cavalry! Drive the horses! Gee up! It's a charge! Rex! See! They flee before our might! Charge! Horsemen! Annihilate them! Set the wall!
All the archers back. Kill those horsemen.
To battle! Strike now! Horsemen!
And they're fleeing again.
Drive the horses! Kick your steeds!
Straight into the back of those axemen there. And backing out.
The battle is turning in our favor.
It was always in our favour.
Ready for war! We hear and defend. Ready!
Let's just run them down.
Charge!
Don't really want to muck about them too much.
Hit hard!
Those archers are gone, they're dead, useless now.
Quick march! Spearmen! Cavalry! Making haste! Quick march, men!
Pull out and form a wedge.
Gee up! Annihilate them!
Awaiting orders.
Horsemen! Attack! Spearmen!
And we may as well just chase a few of them down. Just while we have the chance. Go back and kill those royal companions, and then I think we are done. See, and this is where you get most of your kills. Just cavalry is so important in this game. So, lost 86, killed 476. Getting quite a lot of kills there with the cavalry, obviously. Alfred got stuck in, and we wiped out the English rebels. Just because we can. But yeah, so essentially King Alfred, after he'd made his first pact with the Danes, was celebrating alongside his Witan, which is the council, sort of like parliament. It was all the major earls or ealdormen of the country at the time, when they were set upon by an army of heathens that had appeared out of nowhere. Basically, they cut the head out of the kingdom. Alfred and some priests made their way into a swamp in what is now lush farmland in Sussex, I think. Anyway, they used the area, built some mini forts, and started bringing free men to their side. Whilst Alfred wrote loads of letters to his ealdormen in Hampshire, Devon, Somerset, asking them to send a friar to his defence. We will take on warriors.
Forward march!
Asking him to send their friar to his defence,
My warriors are
which has
steadfast and
obviously
true.
left us with the Kingdom of England in the end. He won the ensuing battle.
We await your commands. By the numbers.
Right, let's bring all of this down here. We want Alfred to have a better army, or more of an army, sorry. Okay, so let's upgrade to a Great Hall. And then over here we'll go for a hunting camp. Go for cattle grazing. Is there anything else I can do? No. Okay. Actually, yes, there is. Let's. Merce, where are you?
I look forward to
Declaration of friendship. Don't want to be at war with Mercia. Is there anyone that doesn't like me? Kernu.
You presume much, but
Let's
I will
offer a
hear.
gift. Can't offer a gift. That is improving. Sodom, they want to rebel, they'll rebel. And yeah, that's it. Send the turn. So yeah, he went into the swamp, he came out with an army, he butchered the Danes and re-established himself as the King of Wessex, but that wasn't enough for him. He wanted to reclaim the other kingdoms of England. So the four kingdoms of England are Wessex, Mercia, Northumbria and East Anglia. Now East Anglia was Danish, Northumbria was Danish, and Merse had fallen the previous year. It was still fundamentally Saxon, but it was ruled by the Danes. Virtuous, that's quite nice. Ulfwold,
Your commands.
General, Loyalty. Authoric, Governor, Loyalty. Easiest way to keep loyalty is just keep giving people a priest.
My men.
They will
yearn to
annoy
prove
the hell out of them
themselves.
until they're loyal,
By the
essentially, because that's all priests are good for. Waiting on that, we will go for okay. No, we'll just go for fields.
we await your command.
Money's not the most important thing in this game anymore, it is now food, because everything relies on it. I've got to be honest, I quite like some of the changes that as I said, I've only played a little bit, so I'm not sure how it will be in the later game. But I quite like the realism of smaller settlements like Portchester and Southampton not having garrisons. It does make you think a lot more about where your armies are and what they're doing. The problem is with things like, say, in Rome, where it's all centered around the major cities, but the smaller cities... They're axemen. But the smaller cities aren't...
In good order.
Forward, march!
they're not major, but you can still, like, sort out with...
Our foes' days are numbered.
Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. Right, so it's not like in Rome, where you've got the major settlement and all the smaller settlements also have garrisons, and if you put a barracks there, then that's where the garrison goes, and that kind of thing. I much prefer this way. Yeah, it's harder to keep hold of your settlements, and they are technically the important ones. You don't have recruitment buildings anymore, it all comes from a pool. Which is okay, up until you've got a larger empire, at which point it becomes slightly more difficult, I would assume, unless there's like ways to properly sort that out. But overall, this new way of doing it is inventive. I know there's quite a lot of people out there that don't like it, and that's fair enough. I mean, it does make it harder to hold your settlements, definitely. It does make it easier to expand if you're a smaller faction, because if you go up against a large faction, you can be sure that most of their towns are going to be small. And it gives you an interesting proposition as to whether or not you need to take a town, because if it's not going to give you food and you need food for it, then it could potentially send you downhill. And I think that's quite an interesting mechanic.
My endeavours are rewarded.
Thank you. Don't need that. I also... low loyalty. This is one of the mechanics I actually do like when it works. Because nobody is loyal forever. Royally recognised. I don't want him to have more influence. I will go for that one and give him more loyalty. Skills, Wiglaf. Give you a priest, mate. Because you need it. But yeah, I do actually approve of the loyalty one. Again, I know quite a lot of people don't like it. And yeah, it's irritating on, say, very hard, where Doorcaster can just immediately give up and swap sides. I don't like that at all. But, you know, it's not a bad idea to be holding feasts. It is very representative of the time. And it's very representative of the fact that it's quite a large area. I know that England's quite small in terms of, like, say, France or Germany. It's a lot smaller, and it's a much easier place to keep control, but it's very cloaking raids. It is still quite difficult, and it would have been difficult in the time to make sure that each of your lords are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Dorchester character. You don't like me, so let's do that. Won't do anything there. I shall. Let's grab another farm. If we can get all this food going up and up and up, then we're going to be fine.
We will stay the course.
Doorcaster for now. Right, skills available. Alfred.
Men have trained.
Obviously the campaign map movement range. Alfred. Gonna be a priest.
Men have trained.
Gonna be a priest. Gonna be a priest. You can keep all your people virtuous and true. There will be no issues. I think. I also like the addition of things like where they've got Roman walls. So I think Winchester has Roman walls. I'm pretty sure London has Roman walls, and Chester, way up in the north, that also should have Roman walls. And I like the fact you can't build the walls yourself. It is very true to the time where basically people had forgotten everything. I mean, the Romans came over and built with stone and marble, and we still only had wood. That was it. That's what we had. And I like that. I like the fact that it's not trying to be something that we weren't at the time. No, don't need any of that. Yes, I will go for a Great Hall. The main reason I'm going for a Great Hall is there is a beautiful little building, the Granary, which basically covers the upgrade for the Great Hall at every turn. So Great Hall, Royal Palace will take minus 100, but the farm will go up to level 3 and get a 72, which means you only need one more village building to get you all that extra food, which makes it a lot easier to do everything. Alright, commerce. Start making some monies. Sorry, the reason I'm not going to war is because I want to go up into East Anglia and do it sort of semi-historically. So I think it was Alfred's son Edward that actually begun the footwork for England, which is what it was called. Alfred's daughter went on to marry a nobleman in Mercia and became the Lady of Merse. She was responsible for a lot of what happened up in the north. And if you've either watched or read the Last Kingdom series, then it shows Enfilade. I think her name is. My pronunciation is awful, so if I muck it up, well, I will muck it up at some point. Wincing. Okay. Yeah, basically, she is the reason that Mercia is even remembered. Because if it hadn't been for her, then her brother Edward would have put his foot down and basically taken over. No. Relations. No wonder people don't like you, Alfred. Right. So, we're going to go for a granary for that food. We're also going to chuck some axemen in ya. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be raiders and that coming in down here at some point. Kind of want to be ready. That's what that second army's for. I'm going to rename that the Hampshire Raid. And that is what they should be called, and this can be the King's Army. Can you rename these? No, you can't. That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Can you rename characters?
We'll do our utmost.
No. Okay. Yes, Middlesex, I know you are not very happy. No. Chippenham. What's that? I think I'm going to upgrade that, and I will go for commerce again, seeing as it is a commerce area. Okay. I quite like the detail as well. So, for instance, I grew up in Hampshire, so this is, I mean, that's the New Forest there. As you can see, there is a lot of woodland around this area. Grenade rallies to Welsh factions, but against merciless. Cool. I actually grew up around here, which is quite accurate. So, like, you've got area over here, Gosport, and then Portsmouth, and there's like all these defences and stuff around there. It's all really, it is actually quite close to being that. And you've got Ryde there. Really cool. Quite a big fan of the artwork, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan on these, but I guess that they do need to try and keep it separate from the rest of the Total War series. If they're going to be having history, saga and fantasy, then they do need something that's going to separate it a little bit and make it a little bit different. Keep going with the food. No, I don't think there's any need for garrisons to go up a level. Not at all. I wish we still had forced march. That is something I wish we had in Thrones, because it was so useful in previous Total War games. So much so that I think that all future Total War games should have forced march, fortify, maybe an ambush and a raiding, same as they did in Rome and Attila. I think that's the best thing. And I think if you're going to have agents popping up in the notification tabs as well, I know that you don't have agents in Thrones, but just for other Total War games, if you're going to have them popping up in the tab over here to say that they haven't moved, then they should have a button so that they can say, oh, they're going to be there to provide a bonus or something. Sort of like in Warhammer 1. I think that's quite a good idea. Farm commerce. I think I'm going to go for the farm one, just because it's right next to Hampshire and there's loads of farms. Let's upgrade.
The men are ready to serve.
Let's go for trade faction wide. Getting into the expensive bit now, aren't we? Apparently. We might go down on food a little bit, but we'll see. We shall see. How long have we got on? 12 turns. Okay, well, I do plan on going straight into London and just walking straight through them, to be honest. I'm not going to muck about with it. I want to go straight into war with the Angles, by East Anglia at least, by part 2. I'm not going to destroy the treaty, just because it'll make me look bad, more than anything else. But I want to get my armies together and start heading that way as soon as possible. No, I'm not giving anyone any estates. They are all going to be kept in the hands of the crown. No. Right, you can have grain pits. You haven't upgraded, and neither have you.
We await your commands.
You, however,
The men are ready to serve. Jesus guide us.
right. Couple of them. Another lot of things. Got bows. Let's go 2 skirmishers. Bear cav. $17. Right. Let's go for. Oh no, they're levies. Don't want levies. It's going to be expensive. Or is it? No, it's not. 2 more Seaxe warriors. And that should be fine. They will 7 turns. That's more than enough time because we've got 11 before Guthrum and his treaty are done with.
The men have trained for this.
I find it quite a relaxing campaign more than a difficult one, to be honest. It's quite sedate, probably the correct word. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, sometimes if you're playing a campaign and it's really difficult, it can really get on your nerves. And I'm sure that there are, for instance, I haven't played as Siren or Mead or Gwyneth yet, so I guarantee that one of those are going to be a lot more difficult than this campaign for Alfred. Like, hands down, I would guarantee that. But at this current moment in time, my personal opinion of it, at the very least Alfred's campaign, is that it's quite sedate. You start off quite in a really good position, a ridiculously good position. Well, obviously I'm going to go for that one. Melee skill for sword and axe. I'm going to go through the defensive masters. Start upgrading our swords. They are our best attribute at the moment. Grain silo. We'll just start raking in some of this money. I thought we had a full 20 stack there. We're missing something. I think I must be.
I grow ever stronger.
Never.
Oh, you're kidding me, Kearney. Oh, well, that destroys everything I wanted. Right, in that case then, I'll go for another Thane Horseman. But I'll get rid of my... Yeah, I'll get rid of my scouts. And I'll take another Thanes. And then... head all the way down to there.
The men are ready to serve. Move into position. Jesu guide us.
What have they got in there? Fair number. And we'll go for a granary. Not upgrading any of that. Okay, so this has not gone quite as planned.
By no means.
Saint Germain, Tintagel, Bodmin, and Sancte Yi. Well, at least we've got a war, I suppose. Not the one I was hoping for, but. Ooh, actually, I can just let Devon do this. Presumably. I mean, they're doing alright at the moment. I don't really want the land down here.
Work pays off.
Okay, so Odin's Ravagers.
My warriors.
Okay, so then you come to there. No, I'll bring you guys back as well.
We must wait, then try again. Patience. We cannot do that yet.
Low public order in Middlesex. Thoric. Yeah, we'll go for another loyalty, and you definitely need loyalty with Glaff. Not a massive fan of you at the moment. Chippenham. Go for grain pit. Have they all got? They do. They all have grain pits now. And we'll go for that. We'll get the extra money. We will end this soon. Okay, well, Cornwall's army's gone. It's quite sad. I lived in Cornwall for a little bit. Been to Tintagel. It's quite a nice place. But at least I've got Devon down there. So, right. Glaff, minus loyalty, minus the public order, +1 command. I'm going to intervene. I don't really have a choice. No way I can let her marry him because he'll take a settlement off me.
We await your commands. All forces in good order. Forward, march!
Lancaster. Don't want to upgrade anything there because it's just going to get attacked in a minute. 7 turns for Guthrum's Treaty. And Aelfric, sorry. Priest. Hearthworld, Priest. If they're up at, say, 7, then that's fine. It's when they get below that. This is where I'm going to leave the part, so if you enjoy this, then leave a comment, like and subscribe down below. I'm going to be doing the same with this series just as I did with my last one. I'm going to be releasing 3 episodes in tandem and then 1 per week after that. Not quite sure what I'm going to do for an upload date yet. Quite possibly on a Monday or a Tuesday, just to give a bit of time between that and Kroq-Gar. See you next time.